Hey guys, so in this video I want to talk a little bit about this frame here. It's called the X220. It doesn't have a manufacturer name or any other type of name other than that. It's just a generic X frame with some 4mm arms here, and it's a pretty good flyer. Here's the look at the side here. You can see this is the sandwich style for the arms, so that if you break them you could replace them, although I hadn't noticed any replacement arms available on Banggood. So I got this frame for a couple of reasons. First of all is this nice little camera mount here for your GoPro style cameras. Let me take this off here. Okay, so here's a closer look at the HD camera mount. It's got a fixed angle. I think it's approximately 30 to 35 degrees. And it's got this sort of unique mounting system with this nut and screw holding on these two side plates here. And you got these metal, normally these are standoffs, but like spacers here that are going horizontal, being held in by two screws on each side here. There's two of them. And this is what you use your little strap here to hold the camera in. And there's no vibration mounting on this, but in the maiden flight you'll see that there's not that much jello, so it worked out pretty well. So that was the first reason I chose this frame. It looked this camera mount looked really interesting and looked really solid, so I decided to try it out. And the other reason I got this frame is mostly for testing purposes. And that's sort of why I have this set up here with the little B ESCs sort of very close to the center of the frame here, right next to the PDB, because this will give me a little bit more motor wire length here to swap out motors and just solder them on. As you see, I didn't even heat shrink the ESCs, I just left them bare. And so even though I'm using these, currently using these King Kong 2205 2300 kV motors, if I want to switch these out, it's pretty easy to do. Unscrew these and just unsolder those and solder onto new motors. And so you probably will see more videos pretty soon with this frame with some different motors, because the little B20 amps are pretty common out there, so it's a good platform to test a lot of different motors on. A couple of things about the build of this frame. It's very narrow in the front here and in the back, and it probably doesn't really matter that much, but it does matter in the front here, because you're going to have some issues with the kind of camera you can put in here. Even though the lens is kind of the narrow part, even this particular camera here, this is the H1177M version, which is the mini version. You can see that the lens barely makes it through these two standoffs here in the front. And additionally, I did not use the camera plate that came with. There's a camera plate that goes from the bottom plate to the top plate, because the angle was very shallow. It was maybe only 15 degrees, and I didn't have any cameras that fit that. And I could not use the attachment for this ring here for the camera mount that goes around the lens barrel. So I had to zip tie it here in the front here, and it goes like that. So it's a little bit of a workaround. Doesn't seem to be a problem. The camera does stay in place. It does move around a little bit if you pull on it, but in flight I hadn't noticed any problems. So the flight controller I'm using is just SP Racing F3. I think it's a clone of the original, and there's a lot of them out there, so it's nothing too special about that. It's just the F3 board with your typical UARTs, pretty generic PDB down there. I think it's got some amount of filtering. I hadn't noticed any video noise at all in the FPV feed. I am using a X4R SB receiver back here, and this is the D-pin version, and I just have some heat shrink around that. And then I just have some generic eSheen 600 milliwatt video transmitter here, just because I ran out of 200 milliwatt video transmitter, so I just stuck this back here since I usually do my testing alone when I fly. So overall, this frame's pretty good. The quality of the cuts of the carbon fiber, the arms and the plates, were all pretty decent. There weren't a lot of defects or burrs in the cuts, so they used some good machining tools to get these cuts to be clean, and I didn't have any issues with like things like sticking out and getting carbon fiber splinters, which I hate when I build some of these things. So that's a plus for this, and I think the frame only cost like about $25. It was maybe less, maybe $23. It was fairly inexpensive. So it's a pretty generic X style frame here, and it has the same kind of flight characteristics of, say, like a Martian or an alien or something of that sort. So it's in that sort of style, but with some kind of unique design elements here and this interesting camera mount. So anyway, you're probably going to see a lot more videos with this guy flying. I'm going to put a little clip here of the Maiden. I didn't really do a whole lot with this, just did a few tricks just to get an idea what the tune was like. It does need a little bit of extra tuning, but it's pretty close. It flies fairly well. Pretty happy with the initial flight of this. So as always, I'll put links to all of these parts in the description below. If you have any questions about how this is built, let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.